John Hughes, a luminary of 1980s and early 1990s cinema, left an indelible mark on the film industry through his insightful storytelling, authentic character portrayals, and emphatic exploration of adolescence and suburban life. His films resonate not only for their nostalgic appeal, but also for their enduring relevance and emotional depth. This essay explores Hughes' legacy, examining the themes, techniques, and impact that define his contributions to cinema. John Hughes was born on February 18, 1950 in Lansing, Michigan. He was the only boy and had 3 sisters. He spent his first 12 years of life in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, where he was a fan of Detroit Red Wings right-winger Gordie Howe. Hughes described himself later as a kind of a quiet kid. In 1963, Hughes' family moved to Northbrook, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. There his father found work selling roofing materials. Hughes attended Grove Middle School and later Glenbrook North High School, which gave him inspiration for the films that eventually made his reputation. He met Nancy Ludwig, a cheerleader and his future wife, in high school. As a teenager, Hughes turned to movies as an escape. According to a childhood friend, Jackson Peterson, Hughes' mom and dad criticized him a lot. They were critical of what John would want to do. According to several of Hughes' friends, he knew a lot about movies. After dropping out of college, Hughes began selling jokes to well-established performers such as Rodney Dangerfield and Joan Rivers. Hughes used his jokes to get an entry-level job as an advertising copywriter in Chicago.
I'd write gags at work, sneak in a joke here and there, and I would just mail them to comedians, and hopefully someone would buy them. And Dangerfield bought some, and a few other people, and it sort of got me started. It was a big thrill. Rodney Dangerfield calling the house, and my mother saying, "Some guy named Dangerfield on the phone." Hello.
Do you remember any of those jokes?
Yeah, I do, but I can't tell them. I'm a terrible joke teller.
Okay.
They weren't very good. I think he was buying them so that they would be the 2 times I was his opening joke in his Tonight Show model, or his appearance on the Tonight Show, and I got this feeling that he was buying my jokes because they would bomb, and then he wouldn't have his pride hurt.
Some of Hughes' work would eventually take him into New York City, which allowed him to visit the offices of National Lampoon magazine. Not long after, Hughes became a regular contributor. Editor P.J. O'Rourke said, "John wrote so fast and so well that it was hard for a monthly magazine to keep up with him." One of Hughes' first stories were inspired by family trips as a child. It was called Vacation 58 and would later become the basis of the film National Lampoon's Vacation.
Breakfast Club came out and was very popular, and 16 Candles came out on video cassette and cable, and people really liked it. And I thought, maybe I know how to do this. Maybe I shouldn't leave so soon. And I had Pretty in Pink written, and I don't know. I read a lot of the reviews of Breakfast Club, and talked to a lot of people at the theaters and watched people responding to it. And I thought maybe I should take another look, just take one more look. And then since Pretty in Pink, I've written another one, so I'm here to stay.
We're talking about Some Kind of Wonderful?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the setting of Some Kind of Wonderful as we
Well,
talk around
something a little different. It'll be high school.
Is this now a quintet, John?
No, it's a sextet almost. It's gonna be an orchestra soon. I'm not thinking in trilogies anymore. I got in trouble there because I finished the trilogy and it was still going, so it became a suite.
Central to Hughes' films is his profound understanding of adolescence. He captured the essence of teenage life with sensitivity, portraying the struggles, dreams, and complexities of young people navigating the transition to adulthood. Before that time, teens were merely a stereotype of what the adults believed them to be. Films like The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off epitomized this exploration, presenting characters who grapple with identity, societal expectations, and the search for belonging. Hughes' characters are not mere stereotypes, but multifaceted individuals, each with their own vulnerabilities and aspirations. Whether it's the misunderstood rebel, the overlooked teen, or the charismatic schemer, Hughes infused his characters with authenticity and empathy, allowing audiences to empathize with their struggles and triumphs. In Pretty in Pink, we see the pressures that occur when someone of a higher standing dates outside of their social norm and the problems that can occur.
To be seen with me. You're ashamed to go out with me. You're afraid. You're terrified that your goddamn rich friends won't approve. Just say it. Just tell me the truth.
You don't understand that it has nothing at all to do with you.
Forget about it, man. It's not worth getting upset over.
Why don't you just take off, Steph, please?
Well, listen, any girl that did that to me, I would not be too jazzed to hold on to, Blaine. It's not worth it, man. I told you it wasn't gonna work, you know? The girl was, is, and will always be nada.
We also see in those times where our true friends stick up for us in our time of need.
You got a problem, friend?
In this scene from The Breakfast Club, Hughes explores the realities of social cliques in the high school setting.
I know it's kind of a weird time, but I was just wondering, what is going to happen to us on Monday when we're all together again? I mean, I consider you guys my friends. I'm not wrong, am I? No. So on Monday, what happens?
Are we still friends, you mean? We're friends now, that is?
Yeah.
Do you want the truth?
Yeah, I want the truth.
I don't think so.
Hughes also sheds light on the pressures that teens face and the suicidal ideations that sometimes form.
You know why I'm here today? Do you? I'm here because Mr. Ryan found a gun in the locker.
Why'd you have a gun in your locker?
I tried.
What's the gun for, Brian?
Just forget it.
You brought it up, man.
I can't have an F. I can't have it. I know my parents can't have it. Even if I ace the rest of the semester, I'm still only a B, and everything's ruined for me.
And in what has become John Hughes' style, he found a way to smile and laugh at the face of adversity.
It was a handgun?
No, it was a flare gun. Went off in my locker. It's not funny. Yes, it is.
Hughes was not just gifted in writing for adolescents, but he was also very talented at directing them as well. He would allow them to develop their characters and to take chances with them on film. This freedom of expression would produce some of the most talented young actors of the era. A group of these actors, who were involved in numerous successful films, would go on to be known as the Brat Pack.
Judd Nelson would come in the morning with his incredible comments. He read the script every single night for 6 months. He just kept reading and reading. And he had a a fix on that character that I couldn't get because I got to watch 5 of them. He's only got to watch the one. And I'm more concerned with you get that character and how that character relates to the other characters is really my job. But I think freedom is real important for an actor. They got to know that they can try anything and fail and not be chastised for it. They've got to have the freedom to. I mean, theirs is a creative process as well. And I don't like restrictions being placed on me, and I don't like being told, being given ultimatums and shut up, I don't need your ideas, because that just constricts the process. And they are creative people, and I think they should have any rights that are afforded me.
Working with child actors or young actors in particular is something that some people are warned against, that it's difficult to do, but you seem to be able to bring out the best in young actors. Do you have any other tips specifically for working with young people?
Well, I think young actors are actually, I've found they're easier. Somebody like Molly or Michael they haven't learned a craft. They're just born with it. They had it. They're just naturally talented. There's no question about their talent. It isn't something that they can fake. It's just there, and they're just bursting with it. And they have an enthusiasm and a willingness to try things. And you get an older actor who has an image, or he has an image of himself, or he has a public image that he has to adhere to, and he says, no, I don't really want to do that. I don't think, I haven't been in the business 20 years to say that or to do that, or a kid will try anything, Michael would do anything, in 16 Candles, he was very concerned about how he was going to look, and in his braces, and he was playing a relatively unattractive character. And he started to realize as he was going through the process how important that was to accurately portray it. And then that became his sole motivation. I want to be this guy. And he went in and said, no, you got to make the hair stand up more. And he started building that character. Whereas I've got other people that say, well, don't touch the hair. People know me by this hair. And I find them to be much more open to things and much better collaborators. They're not so. I don't know if I don't have a tremendous amount of experience with adult leads anyway. But those 5 kids as an ensemble, I cut 20 pages of Molly's character out of the first draft. She signed the piece, she read it, and then the next draft she got, she had 20 pages gone. I took all kinds of stuff out of her. She's the only one that doesn't explain why she's in detention. And in fact, you hear it just at the front, which was something I did in post. She had this great long speech that she gave about what she had done to get in there. And it's a wonderful piece of acting. I shot it, but I took it out, and she had this whole big seduction scene. There's all these different scenes. And I said, it's going to make the piece better. And she said, okay, fine. Now, I don't know if others that I've worked with would be quite so charming about that.
Hughes films often unfold in suburban settings, such as Chicago, unfolding a nuanced portrayal of middle-class America. Through attention to detail and keen observation, he depicted this suburban life as both familiar and complex. Chicago served as a backdrop for several of Hughes' films. His intimate knowledge of the area, gained from living in its suburbs, provided rich context for the films he created. Many of his stories were inspired by his personal experiences growing up and living there as an adult. The suburbs in Hughes' films are not just backdrops, but they're important to the narrative. They shape the experiences and challenges faced by his characters. In Home Alone, Hughes transforms a suburban house into a myriad of booby traps for the resilient young Kevin McAllister to defend his home against the sticky bandits.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
One notable exception was the actor with whom Hughes worked with most often as he transitioned out of teen pictures, the reliably brilliant SCCTV stalwart John Candy, the star of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, The Great Outdoors, and Uncle Buck. Candy, though he was from Toronto rather than Chicago, led a similar life to Hughes. He was a big hockey fan, big family man, had a strong marriage, and 2 young children. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a classic comedy film released in 1987, and it starred Steve Martin and John Candy. The story follows Neil Page, a high-strung marketing executive trying to get home to Chicago for Thanksgiving. Due to a series of unfortunate events and travel mishaps, Neil finds himself stuck with a bumbling and overly talkative shower curtain ring salesman named Del Griffith. Together, they embark on a tumultuous journey across the country using various modes of transportation, including planes, trains, and automobiles. Throughout their adventure, Neil and Del experience a series of comedic and heartfelt moments as they encounter one setback after another. The film explores themes of friendship, tolerance, and the unexpected bonds that can form between strangers during challenging times. It is known for its humor, memorable quotes, and the strong performances of Martin and Candy. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles remains a beloved holiday classic and a testament to the enduring appeal of road trip comedies. The Great Outdoors is a comedy film released in 1988, and it stars Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. The story revolves around 2 families vacationing together at a lakeside cabin in Wisconsin. Chet Ripley plans a peaceful getaway with his family, but their tranquility is disrupted when Chet's wealthy and competitive brother-in-law, Roman Craig, unexpectedly arrives with his family. The film humorously explores the clashes between Chet's laid-back approach to vacationing and Roman's extravagant and overbearing personality. The families engage in various outdoor activities, including water skiing and bear encounters, leading to comedic mishaps and misunderstandings. Amidst the chaos, the characters confront their differences and learn to appreciate family bonds and the joys of outdoor adventure. The Great Outdoors is known for its slapstick humor, witty dialogue, and the comedic chemistry between Aykroyd and Candy. It remains a popular comedy that celebrates the humor and challenges of family vacations in the great outdoors. Uncle Buck explores family dynamics in that suburban context, highlighting it with humor and heartache that often arise within our families. The story revolves around Buck Russell, a slobbish and carefree bachelor who lives in Chicago. When his brother, Bob, and sister-in-law Cindy leave town unexpectedly, they ask Bob to babysit their 3 children, Tia, Miles, and Maisie. Despite initial doubts about Buck's ability to care for them, he gradually forms bonds with each child in his own unique way. Tia, the rebellious teenage daughter, initially clashes with Buck, but eventually comes to appreciate his unconventional approach to life. Miles, the younger son, idolizes Buck and looks up to him as a role model. Maisie, the youngest child, develops a close and affectionate relationship with Buck. Hughes was shaken by John Candy's sudden death of a heart attack in 1994. Vince Vaughn, who became a friend with Hughes during the years, was quoted as saying, "He talked a lot about how much he loved Candy. If Candy had lived longer, I think John would have made more films as a director."
And the tulips and daffodils here are gorgeous. They're in bloom and all the buds are on the trees, so
I need some more from the budget to manufacture some snow if you can.
we're here to empty the Zamboni at the end of the game, and anybody who's got any extra snow at home, please send it to us at the production office at the Hilton Hotel. At the Hilton Hotel by the airport, any old snow, we could use it, so please, if you've got any, send it out. Any, throw in the trunk.
Okay, quickly, I'm going to need you a prediction first for your movie and then for the rest of the game.
Well, Blues are going to win it, and picture's going to be number 1 at Christmas, right?
Yeah. Well, I got to go along with that. I'm hoping that St. Louis, I know St. Louis will win tonight. Minnesota, 2 shots on goal?
Yeah.
3 shots, actually, 1 went in.
Heck of a game.
Heck of a game, yeah. But I'm hoping St. Louis wins tonight, and I know the movie's going to do well. It's just got Steve Martin's great, and working with John is wonderful. So
the name of the movie again?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
After the success of Home Alone in 1990, Hughes began a slow departure from working in film. He had purchased a large family farm in western Illinois and began to invest more time with his family that he loved and cherished. On August 5, 2009, Hughes and his wife traveled to New York City to visit their son James and their new grandson. James said his father appeared to be in good health that night and that the family had made plans for the next day. On the morning of August 6, Hughes was taking a walk close to his hotel on West 55th Street when he suffered a heart attack. He was rushed to Roosevelt Hospital where he was pronounced dead at the age of 59.
John Hughes died suddenly today. He brought us some of the most popular movies of the 1980s and 90s.
John Hughes' impact on film extends beyond box office success. His films continue to inspire generations of filmmakers and resonate with audiences worldwide. By portraying adolescence with honesty and compassion, Hughes transcended genre conventions and connected with viewers on a profound level. His legacy lies not only in his filmography, but also in the enduring themes of identity, empathy, and the universal quest for understanding. In conclusion, John Hughes remains a prominent figure in the history of cinema, celebrated for his authentic portrayals of adolescence and suburban life. His films endure as timeless classics, offering audiences a glimpse into the human experience with humor, heart, and empathy. Through his storytelling prowess and empathetic lens, Hughes crafted narratives that continue to captivate and resonate, cementing his legacy as a filmmaker who understood the complexities of growing up and finding one's place in the world.